Hi, this is Alan from Alpus Group, and I'm going to talk to you today about the 20 key factors for project success. Key factor number 10, which is that there should be a complete and buildable design available. So we'll just recap through the other 20 key factors for project success to remind ourselves what we've discussed previously. Firstly, a clear and concise project brief. Secondly, risk assessment and contingency. Thirdly, funding for the project. Fourthly, that the site is available and accessible. Fifthly, statutory permissions are in place, that's planning permission and building control. 6, agreements for special protection measures and party wall agreements. 7 is protection of utilities, where these cross or run adjacent to the site. These can be underground or they can be overhead. 8 is enabling or advanced works which may be needed, such as demolitions or other clearance works, diversions and so on. Number 9 is the appropriate contracting strategy. And number 10 is the designs, which should be fully coordinated, available and buildable to implement the project. So just going through these, we spoke about a clear and concise project or program brief that defines the scope of the works, the fundamental design parameters, and the employer's or the owner's requirements, such as budget cost, program timescale, and specific operational performance requirements and quality requirements. These often come in where there are retail premises or hotel premises or offices, where there are particular performance requirements for computers, noise, lighting, accessibility, all the required factors that need to be taken into account in the brief to the designers of the project. And then we spoke about the need to carry out a comprehensive risk assessment, and on the basis of the risk assessment to assess a contingency sum for the budget and also for the timescale as well, because it may well be that there are certain risks that have time implications. So you need to take this into account with the budget allowance for your project as well as the schedule for the project. And then we gave an example of a funding of a project where we added up all the costs for acquisition of the site, the planning, consultants costs, architectural feasibility, other fees that may be incurred for surveys and so on, design and construction costs. And then we need to, based on the schedule of risks, which need to be quantified and fully assessed, then turn this into a contingency sum which is specific to the project. Key factor 4, the site must be available and accessible, and this means that the whole site must be available and accessible to the contractor. If you've committed to giving the contractor this site upon commencement of this construction contract, you can agree to stage the provision of the site, but if that is the case, you need to agree it in the contract with the contractor that you have, as if there is a failure to deliver the site or the contractor can't actually implement some of the work because you haven't procured the relevant parts of the site, then you could incur claims from the contractor. It's necessary to have planning permission and building control permission before carrying out the works. So you can't usually start a project without having the necessary planning permission for the use of that particular building that you're going to construct, whether it's residential or commercial. You just can't start without planning permission. Special protection measures may be necessary, and these could be as a result of party wall conditions with neighbours, or there could be adjacent electrical cables or even services crossing the site which need to be either protected or diverted. So you need to take account of all these special protection measures in your programme and in your budgeting. and you need to enter into agreements with neighbours if you've got a party wall agreement, which usually takes some budget to implement. Needs to be an agreed design, and it will of course take time to implement that. Advanced or enabling works may be necessary. This could be demolition, or it could be site preparation, services, diversions, extensive site clearance and demolition. Tenants may be in situ, still in parts of the site, so these may need to be decanted out, and alternative accommodation provided elsewhere. All of the necessary specific conditions for your site. And then we talked about deciding on the appropriate contracting strategy. And we spoke about the traditional procurement strategy where the client appoints his consultants, the architect, the structural engineer, civil engineer, mechanical, electrical engineer, any specialist services, and the quantity surveyor. So all these designs need to be fully coordinated, and they need to be fully detailed and provided to the contractor for him to be able to construct the project. So in this traditional procurement, obligation is with the client to provide this coordinated design. And it's as a result of many problems with clients being able to provide a fully coordinated and detailed design that the second approach, which is a design and build procurement strategy, came about, where in fact, apart from the preliminary design, which is produced by the client, the contractor is obliged to produce all of the detailed design for the project. So this can be a less risky approach when procuring a building, and it puts all the onus on the contractor to deliver, provided that the client doesn't change his mind about anything, deliver the building as contracted within a set time scale and within a particular contract sum. And then the third strategy that we spoke about is where the client engages a construction manager to carry out management of all the design and works packages. And the construction manager will also ensure that the design is available to suit the needs of the works contractors. So there are three alternative approaches, but with each approach, it's essential to ensure that the people who implement the project, whether this is a main contractor who's employing subcontractors, or if it's a construction manager overseeing works package contractors, it's essential that the designs are fully available, fully detailed and available, and are buildable. So somebody, usually the construction manager or the contractor, would ensure that the designs are reviewed for buildability. And if that happens at an early stage, then usually no problems. If it happens at a late stage and there are issues with the buildability of the design, then you could incur costs as a result of delays. So this is a very important factor in ensuring that you get a successful project, that you ensure that whichever procurement method you adopt, you ensure that you provide a fully coordinated and detailed and buildable design for the implementers, the contractors who are carrying out the works. So that's all for this video, and we'll go on to the next key factor in the next video. Those are our contact details should you wish to contact me. I'm Alan at Alpus Group, 07539141257. That number is also available on Skype and WhatsApp, or 0333224125, a landline, or you can schedule a call with me at calendly.com/AlanJE. Cheers for now.